go.
Two, go tack right, reference 110.
2.
I have the friendly on scope, 80 miles, bearing 110. So yeah, we'll press in, hope that they break off, which I think they will. We'll Fox 3 them. Go from there.
I don't have them on the scope yet.
Yeah, neither do I. Two, check right heading 120. Okay, I'm going to medium PRF.
Yeah, I don't have them. I got one. Just broke off from. I'm in range.
What's the range?
30 miles. 31 miles. Can I shoot?
Has he broken off?
Yeah, I got 2.
Okay, give him like one more second to break off and then your shooter.
27 miles. Fox 3 times 2.
I got one.
One's turning cold. He probably shot as well. 24 miles, Fox 3.
Roger, I'm Fox 3 on one of them.
I got 2 missiles in the air.
One's defending.
Copy. 2's defending right.
One's recommitting.
2 would drive cold.
I got one of them going cold. 110.
Okay. I'm still out. 330 recommitting.
Copy. I don't have eyes on the second guy. I don't know what happened to him.
You said 110?
He's at 120 now on the deck. I'm 10 miles. He's cold again. .120 on the deck.
Spike MiG 29 12 o'clock, or Nails MiG 29 12 o'clock.
They're both on the deck here. I'm turning cold. I got 2 Fox 3s out on them.
Okay, what's your altitude?
On the deck. I am heading 040. Recommitting.
Okay, I've got both of them.
I think one's
faded.
splashed. The other guy's on the deck. 6 miles.
Yeah. I keep blocking this guy and he's like, I think, did you splash one?
Yeah, I did. This guy, Fox 3. I got him. I got him.
Yeah, I'm watching them fall.
Yep, they're both out. Sweet. Alright guys, here we go with the TAC view. I apologize if I sound a little different. I'm a little bit sick, but we're going to try to get through this real quick here. So this is me and Feisty, the Blue Raptors, and we got Lasika and Surza in the Russian Sukhoi 33s. That blue thing you see in the middle there, that's the Lufthansa flight. Okay, so one of the things that we were being careful with here is we were trying to make sure that they had broken off from the airliner before we fired missiles, because when the Fox 3s go into terminal guidance at the end of their travel time, I guess you could say, right before they hit the target, they go pitbull, and when they do that, they turn on their own radar, and it's possible that they may accidentally lock on to the airliner and shoot that down instead of the 2 Russian planes that we're aiming for. So just to be careful about that, I wanted us to wait until we had a decent separation here. Now, as the 2 of them broke off from the airliner and started to come out to engage us, I was having trouble picking up the 2 guys, but Feisty picked him up a lot sooner than I did, so I just gave him shooter, and he just started launching his Fox 3s until I picked them up. Right, there was no point in delaying that. So at least he's got the 2 missiles off, and then I'm gonna find the guys and I'm gonna Fox 3 on them as well. You can see that the 2 Russian guys, Lasika here in particular, he has fired 2 missiles R-27 ETs. Okay, so the reason he's done this, ETs are kind of like a long-range heat seeker. And the reason he's done this is because he knows he's pretty close to us, and we're at a pretty high altitude here. He's about 35,000 feet. We're about 42,000 feet. And you can see here we're about 28 nautical miles. So we're starting to get pretty close, and he knows the AMRAAMs can be deadly at this altitude, at this range. So what he's going to do is he's carrying the R-27 ERs as well, which is the main missile for the Sukhoi 33. It's a Fox 1. But he knows that he has to turn cold to defeat the incoming AMRAAMs. And if he turns cold, he can't maintain the lock for the R-27 ER, which is a semi-active homing Fox 1, right? So he's going to fire 2 Fox 2s, and they're going to guide themselves. They don't need any guidance from him. And he's kind of taking a risk because they're not going to be great, but it's the best he can do in this situation. Also, because he's a Su-33, he's not carrying the R-77. The J-11 would be carrying that. That's a Russian Fox 3. Kind of like the AIM-120, but just doesn't have the range. So we know we got Feisty's 2 missiles coming in. Lasika's got his 2 heat seekers out. Now Feisty was able to visually see that launch. And because of that, like, we were pretty certain about what it was. You know, if you don't get an RWR indication, it's a Fox 2. And so we weren't really too worried about defending those. A slight change in altitude will take care of them. Even pulling your engine throttle down to 0 for a second, or idle, and dropping like a couple of flares will defeat those missiles. We're both going to do an aggressive defense here. Feisty's actually opting to go cold a little bit. I'm staying aggressive. I've dropped my altitude and I continue to push. We can see Surza here has also got the exact same strategy. He's got the R-27 ET off. And that's a little bit more dangerous for me, but you can see that they're not maneuverable enough to really maintain any kind of threat profile as they come in. So easily defeat those missiles. Feisty's still cold back there. He's about 10 nautical miles behind me at this point, which is actually kind of significant. Could be a problem. All of our missiles have been defeated. All of our AIM-120s were defeated. You can see Lasika here. He's got 1, 2, looks like 3 missiles on him. But because of his speed, true airspeed of 660, Mach 1.04, he's going to be able to outrun those missiles. Not really a big problem for him. Okay, you can see, or sorry, that was Surza, not Lasika. Lasika has gone defensive, and he's turning around onto target here. He's recommitting. As you can see, I'm already recommitted, right? And so this part's interesting. I had Surza, and these yellow things are me accidentally firing my gun, so just ignore that. So I had Surza on radar. We'll go ahead and drop those labels for a second. And so I fired on him. I couldn't find Lasika, who is now over here. And so I fired my Fox 3 on him. I went to vertical scan mode because I was going to try to do, like, I knew he was down here somewhere, but I didn't know where. I was going to go to vertical and try to do a little scan of the ground here and see if I could quickly pick him up. But I got lucky. As soon as I went to vertical, it just picked him up because he's right here. So I was able to get another missile off right at Lasika. And so at this point, I saw the distance. We're within 10. This is inside of the minimum abort range that I want to be at. It's a little too close for comfort, so I'm going to break off and defend. Okay, I could go cold here, but I figure like I can just break off to the left here and be okay with that. You can see Feisty's coming in behind. He's going to be able to continue to press these guys. And so look at this, though. Something interesting kind of happens here with Lasika. So what he does, we'll put the labels on, is he's got an AIM 120 coming in from me. He had one earlier from Feisty right here. It looks like he defeats it just because it's dead. It's low on energy, so it just hits the ground. No big deal. And so this is interesting. So what he's actually doing is pulling a Cobra to like really reduce his speed, which if you know how the Doppler radar works, it's looking for movement. And the slower you are, the more confused it's going to get. So as he does that, he actually reduces his true airspeed to 131, which is really slow, Mach 0.2. Okay, so on the deck, he's almost virtually invisible to the Doppler radar. And because the AMRAAM is falling top down, it's also seeing him against the ground. Right? If he was a little bit higher and the missile was coming from underneath, it would be looking at him against the blue sky, but it's kind of falling down on him, looking at him through terrain clutter, and his speed is like basically zero. Not really, but it's close enough. And what that's going to do, it's an extremely dangerous maneuver at the altitude he's at. And so what it's going to do is just confuse the missile enough that it misses by 80 feet. So very, very desperate, dangerous, but effective move. And he's going to get away with that one. That missile's going to try to turn around, and it's just going to hit the ground. Okay, so Lasika's safe in this situation. I mean, that's my theory as to what happened there. If you guys have a better theory, you can let me know. But I think he managed to confuse the radar in that situation on the missile. So fair play to him. Up here, we have my Feisty's missile, who has forced Surza defensive. Okay, so both of Feisty's missiles are pretty much dead because he fired first, but they were effective in forcing the two bandits defensive. You got my one missile coming here, and Surza is going to climb vertical. And so what he's actually doing is climbing into thinner air, and he's reducing his own speed as he does it. Okay, notice his speed, it's getting lower and lower, and he's helping my missile climb through thinner air. So he's actually increasing the probability of kill as he climbs. So he's doing me a whole lot of favors here. And look at this missile, it doesn't really have a lot of energy left, 630, 099. So he's helping it right when it needs the help. And it's just going to climb and hit him. So once again, we see climbing vertical gets you killed. Okay, so that's one bandit out. Now at this point, Lasika's got a serious problem. He's got one bandit over here, one bandit over here, and he's slow and on the deck. Okay, so Feisty's recommitted, I'm recommitted. I knew pretty much where he was, so I kind of looked back in the same direction. I got my vertical scan out, and I'm scanning this region looking for him. I managed to pick him up, and there's the Fox 3 that's going to come off at 3.8 nautical miles. That's extremely close. Okay, And so I'm just going to get the hell out of here, because I'm well inside of the minimum abort range. But that missile is off. And we got Lasika here, who has fired an R-73, which is a Fox 2. This is a good launch. You might think he may have fired it at me, but that's not what he did. He fired it at the AMRAAM. He's trying to shoot down the AMRAAM with a Fox 2, which I have seen. It does work, but it takes a little bit of luck. And unfortunately, that's something he doesn't get here. And he eats that AMRAAM at about Mach 2.5 to the face. Mach 2.9. We'll call that Mach 3. Mach 3 to the face. He's going to eat that missile. And as he's falling, he does manage to get off an R-27ER, but that's, again, a semi-active homing, so it's useless without the aircraft. And that's it. So we got 2 bandits dead. Pretty quick succession like that. And me and Feisty rejoin for the airliner. Okay, guys, so that's going to be the TAC view. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.